It's time for another knife review here on Camp Outside, and this time we're going to take a look at the Victorinox Climber, and this one is in white. I love this knife. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Camp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Today we're doing another Victorinox knife review, guys. I love Swiss Army knives. I can't get enough of them. This is my favorite everyday carry knife if you're looking for a 3-layer Swiss Army knife. So why is this my everyday carry choice in a 3-layer Swiss Army knife? And it's really, really simple. It's because it has scissors. And I use scissors all the time when I'm around the house or just out and about, right? The other 3-layer knives that I reviewed the camper and the hiker, both have the wood saw, which is fantastic for when you're out camping and need to cut limbs and that kind of thing. But just around the house, I'm not using the wood saw a lot. I love to have the scissors. This one is actually in white, so this is a departure from the normal ones that I review that are in red. I really like this white one. As a matter of fact, this is one of the knives I was giving away as part of our 5-year anniversary gear giveaway. So before I send this off to someone who won it, I am going to do a review on it and then give it away. Man, I really want to keep it, but I'm giving it away. So with that, let's get right into the components of this knife. All right, guys, let's take a look at the tool set on the Climber. We're going to start with the tool closest to the logo. And so that will be the can opener. All right, and so this is a great little can opener. It's got a nice sharp edge for opening cans and also a small flathead screwdriver that works surprisingly well on Phillips screws. So if you have a Phillips screw you need to tighten or loosen, give that a shot. It works pretty well for me. On the other side is a large flathead screwdriver, bottle opener, or some people call it a cap lifter, and then this wire stripper / wire bender. One of the things I like about this tool is that it does lock at half open, which gives great opportunity for getting good torque on a big screw if you need to. So I like the way it locks in at half open. The middle tool in the knife is the scissors, and I love the scissors on these Swiss Army knives. I use the scissors all the time. It's probably one of the most common tools that I use. And so that's why I think that if you're gonna have an everyday carry 3-layer Swiss Army knife, it needs to be the Climber because the scissors are just so useful. And so with that, guys, what I would say is keep in mind that this spring will eventually wear out and break, but they are very easy to replace and they're very inexpensive on Amazon. I think I just bought a pack of 5 a couple of months ago for, I think like 10 bucks or something. It's really inexpensive. And then I changed out some of the springs on some of my older Victorinox Swiss Army knives that had a worn out spring or a broken spring. But they're relatively easy to replace and will definitely add life to your knife. So just keep that in mind. The next set of tools are the blades. And so we have the large blade. And the large blade is really nice. It holds an edge really well. It's pretty sharp right from the factory. And it's easy to sharpen. And it's really, the right size blade for a lot of your larger cutting needs. You can definitely go with a larger blade for some projects, but for me in general, I find that it's basically the right size for most of the stuff that I'm trying to do. And that is when I need the large blade, which isn't very often because most of the time I'm actually using the small blade, right? I use the small blade for cutting rope, for opening packages, for basically anything I need a knife for. I use the small blade so that I save the edge on my main blade for bigger tasks. And so again, this is a great little blade. It holds an edge well. It's pretty sharp straight from the factory, and then it is easy to sharpen. So I like that as well as I get my fingerprints all over it. Sorry to whoever's getting this knife. And then let's take a look at the top of the knife. So the top of the knife has, the standard tweezers, right, which are great for pulling out splinters, especially if you are outdoors at all. You know, I occasionally get splinters and use the tweezers. It has the toothpick, right, which is standard on Victorinox knives. And then it has the key ring, which I think this knife is still too big to put on a key, on a keychain, but you can definitely connect it to a lanyard, or there are things that you can clip to it that clip to your pocket to help with pocket carry. So definitely, you know, can be a useful tool. And then on the back side of the knife, there are 3 tools. The first one being the corkscrew, right? And so, yeah, if you're one of those people who likes to open bottles of wine with a Swiss Army knife, go for it. You know, you can definitely do that. But one of the things that I really like about the corkscrew is its ability to screw into over-tightened knots. So like when I have knots in rope or paracord or that kind of thing that I can't get out, I take this and I basically screw it into the knot, and that creates space to where you can loosen the knot. So these are great for that. And then this knife also has the hole for the pin. So you can buy a little pin that goes into that hole there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little hole there. And so that's great for, you know, if you have those little things where you have to, you know, like reset a watch or something like that, and you need those little, you know, little pin that can be stored right there. The next tool is the parcel hook. And guys, if you've ever carried anything that was wrapped up with twine and had it tear into your hands, you will want the parcel hook. Basically, you hook the hook on the twine and then you carry the knife like that, and then you can carry the package or whatever it is that's tied up. I know, you know, we don't have as many, you know, parcels tied up with twine as we used to, but there are a lot of times when I find that I have to carry something by a string and it digs into my hands, and so I use the parcel hook quite a bit still. Tents, that's what I do. I carry several tents, sometimes by the drawstring of the carry sack, and I'll put it in the parcel hook so that it is easier on the hands, or lots of sleeping bags. If I'm moving a lot of sleeping bags at the same time, I'll hook them on the parcel hook. The last one is the reamer awl with sewing eye. So this is great for punching holes in leather. You know, if you knocked off a few pounds and need to put a new hole in your leather belt, this is great for that. It's a great punch. It's nice and sharp. It's got a good reamer blade on it, so when you twist, you can make a hole. And then it does have this sewing eye. So keep in mind though, guys, this is pretty big. So whatever you put a hole in, that hole is going to be quite large. But if you needed to lash some tarps together or something like that in a pinch, you know, this is definitely useful for that. So that is basically the tool set on the Climber. So there you have it, guys, the Climber. I really, really like it. I think it makes an excellent knife for first aid kits, for, you know, in glove boxes of vehicles, everyday carry. If you're looking for a 3-layer Swiss Army knife, something that's nice and thin in the pocket, doesn't weigh too much, you can't go wrong with the Climber. I really, really like it. And guys, with the corkscrew, you know, you can add fire tinder to it. So check out my review on the Tortoise Gear fire tinder and ferro rod. I'm going to put a link right up there where you can check that out. And then of course you can swap out the toothpick for a ferrocerium rod, and then you have fire starting capabilities right on your Swiss Army knife. So I really like that as well. So be sure to check out that video if you are unfamiliar with how to turn your Swiss Army knife into a fire starting capable knife. Check that out. Guys, we're going to be doing a whole lot more knife reviews here on Kemp Outside. I have some plans for 2025 to acquire some more knives and do some more reviews. We'll see how long it takes me to do that, but we do all kinds of stuff here at Kemp Outside. You know, as a matter of fact, we exist to help moms and dads take your kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. Guys, I'm outside all the time, and I can't tell you how often I reach for a pocket knife. If you don't have a pocket knife and you're doing a lot of outdoor activities, you're kind of missing out. And I don't think there's much better for utility than a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. If you have any questions about anything you saw in the video, drop some in the comments below, or you can connect with me on my other social media. I am on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X, or you can connect with us at our website at kempoutside.com. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.